summer or going back to Utah to go to GDP? I'm not gonna get it after I start work for it.
Okay, alright, if you can hear me, clap twice. Okay, we're going to go over how to calculate percentages. Let's think about this first. Why might we want to calculate a percentage in this project? Find what?
How old a rock is.
Okay, we need to figure out how old a rock is. How might finding a percentage help us figure out how old a rock is?
What?
Why? How might finding a percentage help us figure out how old a rock is?
I don't know.
Because if we figure out the percentage, then we can figure out how many half-lives it has, and if we can figure out how many half-lives it has, we can figure out the age of the years.
Okay, good, very good. So if we figure out how many percentage of parents and daughter atoms it has, we can figure out how many half-lives it's been through. We can figure out how many half-lives it's been through, we can figure out how old it is. Okay? In our project, what are the rocks that we have to figure out how old they are? Again, go ahead.
Sedimentary rocks, and igneous rocks, and...
Okay, specifically, in your project, you have to figure out how old these rocks are, right? The ones that are provided on the Discovery map. And you've been provided a packet that has information in it about the rocks, including parent and daughter numbers. So we have to calculate a percentage. So we're going to start somewhere simple. Okay? Let's start with, let's say you have an assignment or a test or something. Let's say you get 64 out of 100. How do I figure out what my percentage is?
You divide 64 by 100 and times it by 100.
Okay, so I'm going to divide. So you told me that we take 64 divided by 100, which is going to give me,
0.64.
multiply that by 100%. Okay, let's do this another way. What if it's not as simple as numbers? Let's say I get 72 out of 86.
72 divided by 86 multiplied by 100.
Okay, 72 divided by 86, what's that?
I have no idea.
Let's figure it out.
Called calculator.
Yeah. Where's the
You guys all got one.
I got
0.8372
So it's going
times
to be
100%.
It's going to be 83%.
So we'll have an 83, we'll round it to 7.7%. Okay? So let's look at what we're doing here. In all of these situations, we have a part or a partial amount, right? And we have a total amount. Okay? Right? In every situation, we take the part, we divide it by the total, correct? So we take part divided by total, and we get some response, and then we multiply that by 100%. Equals our answer, right? Does that make sense? That's the basic steps that we have to take. Okay? Now let's look at this another way. I'm going to make it more like our project. I will. Okay? So let's say we have instead this situation. Let's say we've got parent atoms. And we know the total number of atoms. Okay, so let's say we have 23,500 parent atoms, and we know that the total amount was 140,000 atoms. Okay, who can tell me what I need to do here? Sam.
Divide.
Okay, divide what by what?
23 by 1, or yeah, 23 by 1.
Okay, so this, if we're doing this, what part is our parent?
那现在跟你怎么说？
This is the part, and this is the total. Okay, so we're going to take 23,500, and as Sam says, we're going to divide it by 140,000, which is what?
0.167857142.
is sufficient. Okay, then what do?
You do times it by 100.
Multiply by 100%, which will give us,
16.78.
is it 875 or
I don't know,
785?
I just said it.
Okay, so it's going to be, it's 785? So we're going to have 16.78%. Okay? You figured out a percentage. Let's take this one step farther since we're talking about radiometric or radioactive dating. About how many half-lives is this? Let's look at our chart. Let's make our
这
chart.
么说，现在算出来它的百分比。那现在如果是16.78%的话呢？
Okay, so what percentage are we going to start with?
要把它的麦克风。
We're going to start with 100% of our parents. This is percent of parents. Start at 100. Where do we go to at 1 half-life? 50. Where do we go at 2 half-lives? 25. Where do we go at 3 half-lives? 12.5. Is that far enough?
6.25.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So where would we be? Somewhere between, we're about right here, right? So we're somewhere between 2 and 3 half-lives. Okay? We figured out how many half-lives it has. Okay? So I'm going to go, we're going to take this one step farther, a little bit more complex. I'm going to save some of this for you. All right, let's say we have we've got 42,100 parents and we've got 83,520 daughters. Okay, where's my part and where's my total?
我觉得现在用
Part
一部分数字那你总数
Yeah.
Okay, where's my total?
We don't have a total.
How come we don't have a total?
Because add them together. You add them together.
Right, we don't have the total amount. We just have the number of parents and number of daughters. How do we find a total?
You add them together.
对啊。
Okay, so we're going to do parents plus daughters equals total. Okay, so what would our total be?
125,620.
125,620.
刚刚的总
Okay.
数是14。
Now what do we do?
Divide 42,100
现在是多少
by
刚刚他只给你总数，没有
125,620.
没
And I am
还
done.
让你算出来了百分之。
What is that? What's this?
0.3343.
0.3343. What do we do with this?
Times 1.
Times 100%. Move the decimal places 2 places. About 33.4%. Okay? Now let's take it one more step. How many half-lives is this?
那这是经过几次很快？我
One
们
and
知
a
道
half.
现在父母总共
Start
是
at 100.
33.4。
Go to 50. Go to 25. Go to 12.5, which is enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, where would about 33% be?
1 and a
3300
half.
还是关键
Somewhere right about here, right? So right about there, a little bit past 1.5.
都怎么做？
Okay? Well, if the half-life of this equals 4,800 years, how old is this rock? How do we figure it out? If we know the half-life is 4,800 years, then we know that it's gone through about 1.5 half-lives. How do we figure out how old it is? Do what?
那到这里是多少？
Right, we're going to multiply our half-life times the number of half-lives we've gone through. So 4,800 times 1.5
half-life 经过
is going to be
然后乘经过1次 half-life，然后把它算出来。
okay, 7,200 years old. Okay, this is the stuff you have to do in your project to figure out radiometrically how old the rocks on this are. Okay, this is also the stuff that you individually will have to do on your assessment. You'll have to calculate this. Okay, that's why there's practice for it in your team. That's why there's practice for it on your assignments, and that's why we're doing this again here. Okay, you should know how to calculate percentages. In case you didn't, we've reviewed that for you. Anybody have any questions?
No, don't erase it.
Okay, so you have all the information again that you need to be able to finish this project covered. All right? Okay, I'll post this on the website.